There comes a point in life when you realize wealth was never meant to stop with you. The money, the success, the favor, it's not just for your comfort, it's for your calling. You were not created just to survive. You were created to supply. You were chosen to be a channel through which God's blessings can reach others. When you say, I want to become so financially stable that God uses my pockets to bless others, you are declaring something holy, a divine purpose wrapped in human responsibility. You are telling heaven, God, I'm ready to manage what you pour out. I don't want to just have enough for me, I want to have enough to bless many. Financial stability in the eyes of God is not about luxury, it's about legacy. It's not about showing off, it's about showing up for others. It's the kind of wealth that feeds the hungry, shelters the broken, funds dreams and builds futures. That is the wealth that pleases God. But let's be clear, this kind of abundance doesn't come through shortcuts or greed. It comes through stewardship. God blesses those who can be trusted. Before He multiplies what's in your pocket, He watches what's in your heart. Are you generous when you have little? Are you faithful when no one sees? Do you give without expecting anything in return? Because that's how heaven tests your readiness for overflow. The road to divine wealth is built on discipline, faith, and obedience. Discipline keeps you consistent when progress feels slow. Faith keeps you focused when resources seem scarce. Obedience positions you to receive blessings that hard work alone could never earn. Financial success without spiritual purpose is temporary, but financial success rooted in obedience becomes eternal. When God gives you wealth, He's not just increasing your comfort, He's expanding your capacity to serve. Every dollar becomes a tool for transformation. Every blessing becomes a bridge for someone else's breakthrough. You begin to live not just for profit but for purpose, not just to earn but to empower. The Bible reminds us, to whom much is given, much is required. Luke 12:48, that means your blessings carry responsibility. You're not just called to be rich in money, you're called to be rich in mercy, compassion, and impact. When you align your financial goals with God's divine purpose, prosperity becomes a ministry. So today, make this your declaration: I will become so financially stable that God uses my pockets to bless others. My wealth will carry His wisdom, my success will carry His signature. My life will reflect His generosity. You are not chasing money, you are chasing meaning. You are not seeking wealth, you are seeking worthiness to handle it well. God is preparing your hands to hold what He's about to release. Because when your heart is pure, your giving is powerful. When your purpose is right, your prosperity is righteous. And when God can trust your pockets, He will never let them run empty. Be blessed and be a blessing. Generosity is a divine calling. Generosity is not just an act of kindness, it is a divine calling. It is God's way of using ordinary people to perform extraordinary miracles. When you give, you are not losing anything, you are sowing into eternity. You are allowing your blessings to become blessings for someone else. And that, my friend, is where true wealth begins, not in what you have, but in what you are willing to give. When God blesses you financially, it's never just for your comfort, it's for your calling. You become a vessel of His abundance, a carrier of His compassion, a living reminder that heaven still provides. God doesn't pour resources into selfish hands, He pours them into serving hearts. He's not looking for those who want to build bigger barns, He's looking for those who want to build better lives. Generosity is the purest proof of gratitude. It says, God, I trust you so much that I can release what you've given me. Every time you give, you are declaring your faith that God will refill what you release, multiply what you sow, and bless what you share. The world teaches us to hold tightly, but heaven teaches us to open our hands. Because when your hands are open to give, they're also open to receive. True generosity is not about the amount, it's about the attitude. You can give a little and touch heaven if your heart is pure. You can bless others even when you're still believing for your own breakthrough. In fact, it's in those moments when you give despite your lack that God releases supernatural provision. Remember the widow who gave her last 2 coins. Jesus said she gave more than all the others because she gave from her heart, not her circle. When you live generously, you become a channel of divine flow. What comes to you begins to flow through you. And the more it flows through you, the more God sends your way. That's why scripture says the generous will prosper, those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed. Proverbs 11:25, God ensures that those who give never go empty. Generosity changes everything. It changes families, communities, and generations. A generous person can shift the course of someone else's destiny with a single act of kindness. When you help someone go to school, feed the hungry, or support a dream, you are not just giving money, you are giving hope. You become the answer to someone's prayer. So don't wait until you have millions to start giving. Start now with what you have, where you are. Your giving may seem small in your eyes, but in God's hands, it becomes miraculous. The heart that gives freely is the heart that heaven trusts deeply. Make generosity your lifestyle, not your moment. Because every time you give, you are writing your legacy, a legacy of love, light, and lasting impact. Remember this, generosity is not just something you do, it's who you are. And when you live that way, God will make sure your cup never runs dry. Purpose multiplies prosperity. Prosperity without purpose is empty, but when purpose fuels your prosperity, it becomes powerful. Money by itself is temporary. It buys comfort, but not contentment, possessions, but not peace. But when your financial success is driven by divine purpose, your wealth becomes a tool for transformation. God never designed prosperity to end with you. He designed it to flow through you. Purpose gives direction to your success. It tells your wealth why it exists and who it's meant to serve. Without purpose, money becomes a master that controls you. With purpose, money becomes a servant that obeys you. When you dedicate your prosperity to God, every dollar becomes a seed of impact. Every investment becomes an act of faith, and every blessing becomes a bridge that connects heaven's abundance to earth's need. Look at those whom God has raised throughout history. They weren't just rich, they were responsible. They understood that wealth was not about accumulation but about assignment. Joseph in Egypt wasn't blessed for himself, he was blessed to preserve a nation. Solomon wasn't given wisdom and riches for personal pleasure. He was trusted to build the temple of God. In the same way, your prosperity carries a divine purpose: to lift, to lead, and to leave a legacy. But to walk in this level of abundance, you must first walk in alignment. God will never bless what's disconnected from His will. When your motives are pure, your actions are disciplined, and your vision honors Him, prosperity will chase you down. Divine purpose attracts divine provision. The moment you decide, Lord, whatever you bless me with, I'll use it to bless others, heaven begins to multiply what's in your hand. Purpose doesn't just multiply money, it multiplies meaning. When you know why you're being blessed, you handle blessings with humility. You no longer spend just to satisfy yourself, you give to strengthen others. You build not for pride but for posterity. You work not just to live well but to leave well. Purpose transforms financial gain into eternal growth. And here's the truth: prosperity without purpose will fade, but prosperity with purpose will flow through generations. What you build with discipline and devotion will outlive you. Your children and your children's children will walk in the shade of the seeds you planted with vision and faith. That is what it means to build a financial legacy that glorifies God. So today, make this your declaration: I will pursue purpose, not just prosperity. I will let my wealth serve wisdom. I will allow my success to carry significance. Everything God gives me will be used to bless, to build, and to bring glory to His name. When your purpose is right, God makes your path prosperous. When your heart is pure, He multiplies your harvest, and when your hands are open, He fills them beyond measure. You are not called to chase riches, you are called to carry responsibility. You are not here to collect wealth, you are here to create impact. And when purpose drives your prosperity, your life will not only shine on earth, it will echo in eternity.